What is up, dudes? Lady dudes, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today, I'm doing a little video talking about the new Legendary Duelist Pack 5, where we got it confirmed that Bakura is one of the characters. He got 5 cards released. They're pretty cool. They're not crazy amazing, but they are really cool. They do make Destiny board into a legitimate archetype now, which is cool. And we also got a little information as well dropped on what the rest of the pack might look like. And really, it's not a lot. It's literally just the sentence that says, there's really a little sentence in like an article that said, the rest of the pack, or this pack is based on a dark theme, or decks that are dark themed. And the wording is weird, and maybe the translation is weird, but going off of that, I'm just making a fun video off of that. Like this, we could come out and like see that like the translation was not that literal, and it could be dark attribute. It could be any dark attribute deck, but I took it as dark theme because that's different from dark attribute. You look at a deck like Blackwings and Raid Raptors. They're not particularly evil, you know what I mean? Like villainous, right? But they are dark attribute. Same thing with like Orcus. Like they're not really evil to me. They don't give an evil vibe to me. They literally just have dark attributes. So that really narrows it down how many decks really fit the bill of dark themed. Lair of Darkness is very dark themed. Burning Abyss is very dark themed. They don't have characters to match them in the anime, so obviously those aren't potential options here, but you get what I mean. They're very dark. They're literally based off of like evil things like hell and so on and so forth. So that's what I was based off here. I have a bunch of possible archetypes here that could end up being put into this pack, and I'm just going to fly through them real quick. I'm not trying to spend too much time on this part. Abyss Actors. Keep in mind there are a couple decks here that were I was kind of like, this could be considered a dark theme deck, but like, I'll leave it up to you. I'm going to throw it out there because I think it's still a possibility. Abyss Actors, though, you decide. But Silvio Salvatore, being the character that played him in, what, Arc V? Zexal? No, Arc V, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they're cool. We got support in, was that a deck build pack? Oh, maybe we got them in the last, no. I can't even remember. We got support for them fairly recently. We've had a couple of little driplets of support for them recently, which is pretty cool. So that'd be cool. Then we move to Archfiends. We're doing this in literally alphabetical order, by the way, so no specific order. Archfiends would be really cool. I know a lot of people. Such a nostalgic deck. It'd be awesome to see some much more relevant. It doesn't have to be amazing, but just like their effects are rough now. like they need some kind of buff. And even a crazy buff probably wouldn't even make them anywhere close to meta. But it'd be cool to see. Their Link Monster's not very good, but he's really cool. That'd be awesome. My only discrepancy here is that Titan was such a small character. I mean, he was literally there for like maybe 3 episodes with the duel when he like kidnaps Alexis and then Jaden beats him in a duel. But like, he's there for like 2, maybe 3 episodes. He's very cool, and Archfiends are cool. He's the only character that really plays them as a full-on archetype instead of just randomly having some of the cards. But I would like to see that. I think a lot of people deserve it because a lot of people love Archfiends. It's a classic archetype. Another one here is Cubics. This is another cool option. The only thing I waver on here is I don't know if Konami would consider using Aigama because he is specifically a character from the Dark Side of Dimensions movie. He was not in the regular show at all. He's only in the movie, so I don't know if they would consider using a character that's specific to a movie. I don't know. That's the only thing I'm iffy on there. One of the ones that I think has one of the best potentials, one of the highest potentials or best chance to be put in here is Cyber Darks. This is Zane Truesdale's decks when he turns not evil. I guess he kind of does turn evil, but he's like he graduates from Duel Academy. He goes to be a pro. It doesn't work out. He's like losing duels, and so he just like resorts to a new style of like not good sportsmanship and just playing like this badass deck with the Cyber Darks. Everybody thought they were cool. They were like the symbolism for him becoming evil. He's not playing the light dragons anymore, the light cyber dragons. He's playing the dark Cyber Darks. So they clearly have that dark theme to them. And they got a couple cards of support, but obviously they've never done really much of anything. They definitely could make some really cool, interesting cards for this archetype, and I think a lot of people would buy into it. DDs are next with Declan Akaba. I believe he's a fairly prevalent character. It's up to you to judge whether or not they're truly a dark-themed archetype. They're based on, like, what, historical figures, famous historical figures, so that's up to you. But I think they're cool, and this could be like their one pendulum hit. This is where they hit the niche of the people who love pendulums. You throw in DDs. I know there's a big fan base for DDs as well, so I think this would be a good toss in there. But they obviously need to be careful with any pendulum deck what kind of support they make. Next is Dark Scorpion. I don't see this being a very big possibility because in the anime, literally Don Zalug is the Duelist, the character right here in the middle, and they're there for like one episode while Chaz dunks on them with the Ojamas, and it's wild. So that's really funny. Next up is Dark World. The biggest problem with Dark World, like they fit the bill perfectly. Like as far as like aesthetic, they are as dark as it gets. They're literally like dark. They're from the dark world, so they fit perfectly. The only problem is the only duelist that ever used them in the anime was Braun himself, when they had like a weird arc where they had like weird arcs where like the monsters themselves would be the duelists piloting their own deck, so they don't really have a face. They don't really have a duelist to like market this like support with, right? So like kind of doesn't really work, and that's why I don't expect it. Otherwise it would be like the perfect option to throw in here. Next we have Dark Lords, the like evil fairies type monsters. They're really cool. I like what they do, but they had 3 different characters at one point or another using them, which is pretty interesting. So first we have Rebecca Hawkins. She's like the prodigy duelist, the daughter of Professor Hawkins, who was like really good friends with Yugi's grandpa on the show. Not dad, Yugi's grandpa on the show. She has she comes back a couple times to like duel again and again, and she's still like a prodigy duelist or whatever. She gets older. She's all right. She's really annoying at first, but I could see her being like the face of Dark Lords. We also have Fonda Fontaine, who plays them. I don't think she duels very often in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, but when she does show that she plays like a Dark Lord deck, which is kind of cool. She's like the not mistress, but she's like the head like girls obelisk blue dorm girl that like keeps them all in check or whatever. So that'd be kind of cool to see. And then there's some girl from the manga, Midori Hibiki. I think she's a fairly prevalent character, but we don't have her in the anime, so I doubt we would see her get support. It would be like for Rebecca or Fonda at that point. An interesting 5Ds installment here would be Earthbound Immortals. The biggest problem with Earthbound Immortals is that they were played by like 5 plus different duelists, because there's like multiple big Earthbound Immortals. Each of them was like given one when they became a Dark Signer, and so you don't really have like one character to be like, this is the Earthbound character. His classic archetype is Earthbound. Fits perfectly. Not really. So that doesn't really work. Next up is Evil Heroes with Jaden. This is an interesting one here. I don't really expect this to see much. We've been getting so much hero support, and it's kind of, Evil Heroes are kind of like the forgotten ones. Like we see now that we're getting Destiny support, like Konami acknowledges Destiny Heroes are there, and they actually have some good support in Dark Neostorm coming up, and like obviously Elemental Heroes have always been supported, and yeah, Evil Heroes are kind of just like the forgotten wave. Even Vision Heroes are getting the support, so like this, I don't really see this being too likely, but I think it's a possibility, and I did want to bring it up. Jaden obviously not an evil character, but he does have his phase where he uses like the evil hero cards, which is weird, but yeah, it happened. Then we have Gimmick Puppets, played by Quattro. So this is a good one just because we already know that they have their Link monster coming out, and I don't know how prevalent Quattro was as a character in the anime, but if he was fairly decent, like fairly prevalent, then Gimmick Puppets would be a pretty good option. I don't think many people like them, but hey, that works. I guess. It'd be a weird one. Gorgonics would be another weird one, just because I don't think they're a likable enough archetype for them to really want to market Gorgonic support. Like Guardian is really cool, it's a really powerful card, but like all the other cards in the archetype are like not good at all. So not very good. I don't really expect Gorgonics to get support. Another one, probably next to Cyberdarks, I see this deck like being possibly the front runner to get support, is Infernities. Obviously Infernities are very like dark oriented. Like look at this card, like he's clearly evil, he clearly wants to shoot you, he's holding guns, and his teeth look like shark teeth. Clearly they're based, like, look at so much of their artwork. They literally look evil. So I think they fit the bill perfectly. And Colin Kessler was a fairly prevalent character. I mean, you find out he was one of, like, Yusei's best friends in the anime. Then after they save him from, like, being a dark signer, he ends up, like, helping them a bunch, like, in later arcs and stuff. So that kind of works out. I think Infernities would be pretty cool. We also got burnt in a barrier off the ban list, and maybe this is them saying, like, Infernities can come back, y'all. Infernities are back. Who knows? Who knows? Then we have Predaplants. This is a deck played by Yuri. A really cool deck, really cool fusion deck with some pretty cool, like, counter shenanigans. But it's up to you to decide. They're like, if they're evil plants or if they're dinosaur plants. I think they kind of look a little more evil than just plain dinosaur, because they look at this thing. Look at his mouth plus his Venus flytrap back. Like, he is pretty evil to me, or dark to me. So I think they fit the bill. I think that would be a cool plant deck to support. We have Aromaseraphy Jasmine, the Link monster for plants. So if we actually got a good, like, solid support for plants, maybe that's how we start seeing plants, like, storm the meta a little bit. That'd be really cool. And I don't know how prevalent Yuri was, but hopefully he was fairly prevalent, because I would love to see this deck get support. Then the last one here is Vampires. Very quickly used by Camilla, and also in the manga some girl named Tillamook. She's not really relevant, but Camilla is a little bit. She was only there for like 5 episodes maybe. Nothing crazy, but she was like, other than after Bones, she was like the Bones of the new archetype. She was the zombie player, the zombie duelist we see in GX. So I could easily see Vampires getting a little more support. We saw them get support in Dark Saviors, and maybe this is the next wave, because everybody, like, not everybody, but a ton of people love zombies. Konami's always going to give support to zombies just because they are, like, they're a big niche. They're not just a small niche, they're a huge niche. A lot of people love zombies, which is really cool. So looking at these, I think the zombies are fairly decent possibility here, the Vampires, because they do have a face in Camilla. That would not be that bad. I think Predaplants have a decent chance. I don't know how prevalent Yuri was. This is all based on the knowledge that, not really knowing what Yuri does, but if he's a like decently prevalent character, Predaplants would be a really cool option. Infernities, I think, are a pretty possible one. That's one of the front runners for me. I don't really see Gorgonics. Gaming Puppets work. It's just, like, such an unlikable archetype that, like, I don't know if Konami would really want to, like, try and support a deck that, like, nobody really wants. I mean, some people want it, and, like, to each your own, but to the masses, they still need to make money off this product, right? So they gotta find archetypes that people want. I'm sure people would love to see evil heroes, so I wouldn't be surprised if they throw this out just as, like, everybody loves heroes, let's throw something out there that helps sell this product way better. So I could see that. I don't really see Earthbound Immortals for the problem of, like, all the Dark Signers using them. I could see Dark Lords with Rebecca Hawkins. I think that could be a possible option. I also don't know, like, they are still fairies, so I don't know if they're dark enough. We'll see. I don't see them because Braum was a duelist. Obviously not them. I could definitely see DDDs. This could be like their pendulum, like, niche, being like, hey, more pendulum stuff, and everybody who loves pendulum loves DDs. There's a pretty big a mass fan group of DDs, so that'd be cool. Cyberdarks would probably be my front runner. I think this is the one most likely to get it here. I just think they fit the bill. So this would be really cool. Again, I don't know if they use a character from the show. Titan was only there for a minute, but I think Archfiends would be a really nice, like, classic archetype to support. This could be for more of, like, those classic players, getting them back into it with new Archfiend cards. So I think that could be a possibility. And then Abyss Actors. I think Abyss Actors, if Konami counts them as a dark themed deck, could definitely do this instead of, like, DDs as, like, their pendulum deck to support. Definitely. But I think that's pretty much it. I just want to talk about all the archetypes that, after I went through, like, had like some potential. And also keep in mind this. I did not say this at the beginning of the video. I probably should, because people won't watch this far and they won't see me say this. But multiple times we've seen archetypes that are not really archetypes be developed into archetypes. we've seen Simorg, we've seen Thunder Dragon. This is not quite the same, but we just saw literally with the first part of this set, we saw it with Bakura and Destiny Board. Destiny Board was not an archetype. It was like 6 cards that just do one thing. That's not an archetype. That's just like 6 spells that all do the same thing and a trap that kind of gets them along. It's like a little package, but it's not an archetype. Now it's a full-blown archetype with the spell, the trap, and the 3 monsters, tying in Dark Necrofear. So we could easily see that happen here. There could be certain characters that don't particularly have an archetype, but they have one key card or one little set of cards that they can start basing archetypes fully around. So obviously that was that would have been a whole nother level of like digging deep and like probably having to watch some of the anime just to like find those monsters that have the potential, or cards in general that have the potential to be to have archetypes built around them. But at least for today, we're just doing the archetypes, and we're going to be keeping an eye out for any further news other than that. But guys, let me know what you think. Let me know, out of these options at least, which one are you the most excited for? For me, it's probably Predaplants are probably my number one that I'm the most excited for. I didn't even say Dark Lords have their Link monster that we haven't gotten yet. That would be an interesting way to import that. But yeah, Predaplants, Vampires for my friend Mike. I love you, man. And he loves zombies. That's like his deck. That's like his classic deck. So that would be awesome. And probably like Archfiends? Cyberdarks. No, Cyberdarks. I would say those 3. Vampires, Predaplants, and Cyberdarks would be my 3 picks. Archfiends probably right behind, just because I would love to see like some newish, semi-relevant Archfiend cards come out. That would be awesome to modernize that deck. But guys, again, let me know what you think. Let me know which one you are the most excited for out of all these picks here, and let me know if there's anything, like I said, like a specific card or set of cards that could be turned into a full-on archetype, just like Bakura's Destiny Board did in the first 5 cards that got announced. But I'm going to leave it off there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because I make videos like this all the damn time. There, guys, thank you so much for watching. Peace.